Before we start off this video, I would like to say that there is a trigger warning for appropriation alleged in this video. Please be respectful to everyone in the comments and watch this video before you comment. Thank you. If you choose to click off this video, I completely understand. So let's get right into the situation. Some of the Warrior Cats indigenous fandom and the WCUE developers have been at war within the past few weeks. And after doing more research and diving deep into this rabbit hole, this went further than a feather accessory game, which is really where this all started from, but it went much further. Please watch the video before commenting. A lot of you were misinformed. I'm happy to report that this story has a good ending, but unfortunately it's been really rough tides on both sides, really. What happened, you may ask? Firstly, let's start with what Warrior Cats Ultimate Edition is. So, the game of the book series based off the same name, Warrior Cats, this game lets you roleplay as these cats. The problem is there is an accessory that some people felt accept at. This accessory was a feather behind the ear. An indigenous member of the community spoke up about the issue after they found it genuinely distasteful. They found that the feather was sacred in their culture as it means high honor behind the ear. Having it behind the ear felt like disrespect to them. However, much of the community disagreed with this person, and a lot agreed too. It was very mixed and had the community at war, with many choosing to outright abandon the game entirely due to the alleged appropriation in the game. When the staff members were initially dismissive and brushed it off, this is where it started. It took to Twitter and a document blew up about the subject. Then another one came off especially bad on the staff members, according to this person. And now we've reached a point where the WCUE developers and staff members have released an apology on their end. In today's video, we'll go over what the apology says, where sides went wrong, and unfortunately, how this blew up into a mess. Let's get started. Yo, what's up, Nerd Squad, and welcome back to another video. Before we get started in today's video, make sure to subscribe for Roblox drama, news, tips, and tricks, and more. Don't forget to turn on the bell so you never miss out. Getting started with the situation, we've explained this before at the intro of the video so that way you're all caught up. Basically, a feather was deemed to be appropriating culture by members of the indigenous community. The person who found this initially took it to the developer, who dismissed the issue by saying it's not appropriating culture. This made the issue and the person take it to Twitter to spread a document on awareness about how the feather was appropriating culture in their opinion. In their definition, the feather was deemed sacred because it's held in high honor in the culture. Now, as someone who's indigenous myself, I completely understand. However, arguments started to form when the Discord handled this with a very biased manner, and instead of accepting this, whether you agree with it or not, chose to outright ban anybody speaking about the document or topic. This, in my opinion, is not okay. Although I may not agree with certain degrees of the feather, you have to choose to let people speak, especially when the document has received 1,000 likes on Twitter. I feel there are situations where both sides essentially went wrong. I feel that the sacredness of the feather, well accounted for, suggestively be considered that they are prominent in the books and in no way went to offend the culture. Same with the Star Clan, which many compare to this. Both are not meant to offend, but they do offend, and here's the problem. I do feel that they should have been taken with much less of the aggressive tone. However, this is not to say that the developers didn't do wrong. The developers' dismissive tone was not okay towards it. And banning forms of critique is not a way to create an inclusive and open community. Hence, why this apology had to be brought forward. Let's read. As you may be aware, members of the Warrior Cats community have recently reported instances of unacceptable conduct by our Warrior Cats Ultimate Edition Discord team. Central to this is my own response of an issue of cultural appropriation which was highlighted to me by the member of the indigenous community. I was ignorant of the cultural significance of the issue and furthermore, dismissive and rude when approached about it. I cannot determine what is culturally significant to indigenous people, and I am regretful and embarrassed about my ignorance. I should have known better when making my remarks. I would like to issue a wholehearted apology, not only to the indigenous community, but to the user who I showed such disrespect to. I was and am in the wrong. I will be committing myself to personal improvement in regard as a priority. I can't make up for past mistakes, but it's important that I grow as a person and learn so that way I can do better moving forward. Further to this, examples of our Warrior Cats Ultimate Edition Discord community guidelines being administered in a biased manner by moderators have also been reported. It is extremely important that both I and the full team I work with learn from our mistakes, and we have taken over the time of the past week to reflect, research, and develop the action plan down below. The whole team will be educated on the importance of celebrating and promoting inclusiveness and diversity, and we all will be completing a professional course on inclusiveness and sensitivity training. We have begun a thorough evaluation of our past conduct, and will be using this to inform a new strictly enforced code of conduct going forward, with a focus on how community feedback is handled. We will clarify our community guidelines, so that way rules and policies are transparent. If any user feels these are being applied in a biased manner, there will be a process in place to report this. We recognize that important issues they need to be discussed, and staff will now be instructed to escalate these directly to our management team, and users will be provided the appropriate individuals to contact. I would like to stress that this is not an action plan we are taking lightly. Our community deserves respect, and they deserve to be heard. I appreciate your time in reading this statement. I hope the users feel the plan addresses the issues at hand, and that the following weeks our actions will prove our sincerity. Thanks for your time, Carson Aldrich / Pavlin Linux, Project Leader, Warrior Cats Ultimate Edition. Honestly, this is a great apology going forward. The training part I especially feel accounts for the actions of the developers. And honestly, this is the best outcome we could have had from the situation that turns disastrous. I really do think that the developers are moving better going forward. Again, I'm a firm believer against cancel culture. However, I do believe in accountability culture. It seems that they are really making the right steps forward. Inclusivity training is icing on the cake, and I'm really glad about this. And the owner of the document seems to have taken down all the documents, as this issue is completely resolved. Please let me know your comments down in the thoughts below. I would really appreciate it. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video.